Children who went missing. What happened? I ran away when I was 13 and never looked back. My stepfather's punishment room was the basement storage area with concrete floors, no heat, and that musty smell of old boxes. That night, I'd broken his rule about doing homework after 9 p.m. I had a test the next day. I thought I was being careful. My desk lamp was almost off when I felt his hand grab my shoulder. What part of lights out at 9 don't you understand? His voice was quiet. That's what always scared me most. He never raised his voice. I have a chemistry test, I whispered, already knowing it wouldn't matter. 3 days, no food, he said, squeezing my shoulder until I winced. Maybe then you'll learn to manage your time better. He walked me to the basement and made me watch as he took my textbook and ripped out pages one by one. Clean that up tomorrow, he said, pushing me down the stairs and locking the door. This wasn't new. What was new was the small window I'd been working on for weeks. I'd been loosening the screws since the day he threw my mom down these same stairs, and she still told the neighbors she tripped. I knew then that nobody was going to help us. I waited until 3 a.m., listening for his breathing machine. Mom would be knocked out on her anxiety meds by now, her own way of coping. I pushed the window frame and felt it give way. Every creak made my heart pound. It was barely wide enough for my body. I pushed through, holding just my school backpack. Inside were clothes, my birth certificate I'd taken from Mom's filing cabinet, and the $280 I'd saved from tutoring kids at the library. Mrs. Tanaka paid me cash and never mentioned the bruises on my arms. I didn't go to any classmate's house since that would be too obvious. Instead, I went to school and found the broken gate behind the gym. I crawled into the equipment shed. I'd hidden a sleeping bag there the week before, just in case. For 2 weeks, I lived like this. I got to school before the janitors, washed up in the athletic locker room, went to all my classes, tutored more kids, found places to sleep. I kept my grades perfect, stayed invisible. Nobody noticed. That's the thing about being the smart, quiet kid. Teachers assume you're fine as long as your homework's turned in. Then came the Amber Alert, my face on everyone's phones during English class. I kept my head down, pretending to read my novel, Missing Child, Possible Abduction. That night, my stepfather was on the local news with his arm around my mother, who looked empty, standing next to him. Please, he said, his voice breaking perfectly. Please bring our son home. We just want him safe. The same man who dislocated my shoulder, teaching me proper form in Little League. The same man who made our dog sleep outside in winter until it froze to death. The next day was worse. Kids were studying their phones and then scanning faces in the hallway. I wore my hoodie up, ate lunch in the bathroom, kept walking. The librarian, Mrs. Nakamura, caught me dozing in the biography section during my study period. I was tucked behind the tall shelves, but she was reshelving books. I saw it in her face when she recognized me. She didn't say anything, just turned around. I started packing up, ready to run, but she came back. Kenji, she said softly, come to my office, please. I followed her, already planning which exit to use. She closed the door and lowered the blinds. Everyone's looking for you, she said gently. I nodded. Are you safe at home? She asked, studying my face. I almost lied. Then slowly, I rolled up my sleeves and showed her the round scars on my forearms from where he put out cigarettes to teach me focus. Then I pulled up my shirt and showed her the belt marks across my back. There's more, I said quietly, but you understand. She didn't call my parents. She called social services. Then she let me stay in her office until they came. She gave me her lunch of rice balls and orange slices. First real meal I'd had in days. The social workers took pictures, asked me questions, recorded everything. For once, adults believed me. The detective told me they found my blood on the basement walls from all the times I'd tried to claw my way out. They found the makeshift toilet bucket in the corner. They found my mother's medical records showing dozens of suspicious injuries. They found everything. My stepdad was arrested that same day. Mrs. Nakamura held my hand as we watched them lead him away in handcuffs. The prosecutor said it was an open and shut case, 20 years minimum. The trial date came fast. Mrs. Nakamura sat behind me in the courtroom. My foster parents were there too. Then the judge walked in. My blood turned ice cold. I knew that face. It was in every photo on my stepfather's office wall. His college roommate, his best friend of 30 years. The judge looked directly at me and smiled. After reviewing the evidence, he began. I'm ordering immediate family reunification. Full story on channel, link below.